Some say that the president caved on the spending bill and that it is a win for the Democrats. Come in, former Reagan economist Art Laffer. That's the way I phrased it. It's a cave by the president and a win for the Democrats. Are you going to take me on this one, Art?
No, I'm not. I mean, it is a win for the Democrats. I mean, they are defending their programs. They've got just enough votes to be able to do that. And with the Republicans not united, there's no way of sacking the liberal city, if you will, by the budget. But as time goes on, Stuart, we'll see how it works out. I don't think this is going to be the long-run solution.
I understand that, but it's a very bad sign for the early going. I've got another one for you, though, Art. President Trump says he'll consider a gas tax, raising the federal tax on gas to help pay for infrastructure spending. What do you say? I don't think you like that either.
Well, you know, I've written a lot on this, Stuart, and I am all for a gas tax if we could reduce other taxes by equal or more amounts. A gas tax is one of the least damaging taxes. All taxes are bad. Some are worse than others. The gas tax is one of the least bad taxes, and if we could use the proceeds to reduce other taxes like the income tax, like the corporate tax, I would be with that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And I think, Stuart, this is the aperture, this is the opening that we could get to bring a lot of Democrats on board, because all they want is a carbon tax of some form, and then they'll come along with us on all the other growth agenda. And I would love to see us get that growth agenda. But nothing is more important in my mind.
But that's my point. Because the Republican Party is so divided, you can't just go dead straightforward and get those tax cuts. No, you've got to balance it out with a consumption tax so you can bring some Democrats in, because you don't have a united Republican Party.
But that's true. That's what we had to do in 1981, too, with our tax bill. I mean, when we had Graham Latta and we had Hans Conable, we got lots of Democrats by compromising, letting them be part of it. I think the gas tax increase, if matched by more than in an static income tax cut or corporate profits tax, would be a great trade-off. And if we could bring 50 Democrats on board, all of this unity of the Democrats, this more solid front and all that, would vanish before our very eyes, and we would have a Reagan administration.
Are you a little bit disappointed today, Art Laffer? You always put a bright, smiley face on things, because that's the kind of guy you are.
The budget was awful, Stuart.
Yes.
The budget was awful. But, you know, it's classic for what happens in these circumstances. Now, with us in the early 80s, it lasted for 2.5 years, for goodness sakes. By 82, Reagan was being trashed. The Democrats picked up huge numbers of seats in the House, picked up 1 seat in the Senate. You know, the Boland Amendment, all of that stuff was put in on Reagan's back. He was put in chains, but it didn't stop us. By 84, we whacked Mondale, and then we got all of them to join us.
What are Republicans supposed to do right now? Not Republicans in Congress, but Republican voters, Republican supporters, those who want free markets, those who want tax. What are they supposed to do now?
They are supposed to be very judgmental on what's delivered and what's not delivered, and hold the politicians' feet to the fire. I mean, people deserve, Stuart, the government they get. And if they allow this government to give them not what they promised, but to give them something they don't want, they should throw the bums out. And that's the way it should be, both Democrats and Republicans. Republicans are not immune to being thrown out of office if they can't deliver what they promise. And health care is a classic case. We should have repealed Obamacare 2 years from now. You know, we have a bill that passes right now saying 2 years from now this bill will be repealed in its entirety. Then we should work on how to provide something else, if something else is even needed at all, which I'm not sure it is.
This is the first time I've ever seen Art Laffer even a tiny bit down. But he resurrected himself at the very end. See that smile? He's back.
Well, at 5'6", I've been short all my life, Stuart, so what can I...
Okay. Stay there, Art, because